So for listeners who are stuck between futile individual actions and overwhelming systemic problems, how can they figure out their own leverage point and then actually plug in and move the needle?
So hopefully this isn't unsatisfying in the sense that I want to not give you one specific answer.
Okay.
Having written a book about how to make change, people have often asked me, so what are the top 10 things to do? Or make it a listicle,
Make
right?
it a listicle, yes.
And
let's not do that.
I always want to say, I don't have a top 10 list. I think people have all these different opportunities in their lives, again, as parents, as friends, as coworkers, as bosses, employees, as investors, as soccer coaches. All the different things we do give us opportunities to interact with other people. And to me, the fundamental message is, here's a two-parter.
Okay.
One is, doing anything is usually better than doing nothing, so long as one has that experimental mindset about it, which is to say you see what happens, you try, and then you adjust based on the outcomes. One place I take inspiration for saying that doing something is better than doing nothing is from what activists often say, which is that the antidote to despair is action.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying something. But the addendum, the second idea that I would add, is doing anything with other people, doing it in community. That is the missing ingredient, I think, often from doing something once and then going back to your life, right, to absolve yourself of whatever guilt that you have about the world not being a just place, and really sticking around and finding inspiration and it leading to the next thing, is that you find community, you find other people who you like doing things with, you find people that inspire you, that surprise you, that give you new ideas. And so if it's climate change that you're most concerned about, there are lots of organizations that you can join up with. But it's also, again, that you can take a little step like riding a bike one day to work, and then when your coworker says, "Did you just ride your bike to work?" Right? You can say, "Yeah, I'm trying it out. I thought I'd see how it feels. I'm really worried about the emissions from my car because I was reading about how disastrous it'll be if we get to 2 degrees of warming." And again, the amount of greenhouse gas you saved by riding your bike that day doesn't matter. That's what everyone wants to go to. What matters is that you just had a conversation with somebody about why climate change is really terrifying and what you want to do about it. And then that person might have a conversation with another person and so on. And so doing something rather than nothing and doing it with others is my recommendation.
Yes, good advice.